Hey folks, it's just me again with another Millennial Tidbit. As you know, the 1,000 years of peace will be exactly that. And the Bible tells us that it'll be the 1,000 years of peace because there will be no more war and there will be no more training for war either. There will be no armies. And if I can take it a step further, there will be no need for police forces, or for lawyers, or for courts, or for paramedics, or even hospitals, or even ambulance drivers, police, or firemen too. And the reason I say that is because the services that all those people perform, police, fire, ambulance, they will be performed by you. Because the Bible tells us that during those days, earth will be filled with the knowledge of God. And that can be interpreted two ways. One, God's knowledge of creation and invention will become bountiful there. The regenerated servants of the Lord will be building devices of leisure and devices for vacations and holidays and just making life better for everybody. But also filled with the knowledge of God, meaning that right now in the earth that we have before the reign of peace, before the rapture, we have to have faith that there's a God. We don't wake up every morning and realize, or the average person doesn't wake up in the morning and say, oh, there's a God in the universe, I'm aware of his presence. But during the 1,000 years of peace, that will be the case. God will no longer be hidden during the 1,000 years of peace. People will wake up in the morning and it'll just be commonplace that there is a God watching them. There is a God on the earth. There's a God throughout the universe watching from heaven. And because of that, a typical day for you regenerated servants, you raptured servants, those who will be ruling and reigning with Jesus during the 1,000 years of peace, a typical day would be, but we'll have houses like this during the 1,000 years of peace. As the population grows, people will build houses and we'll have communities. And some of you wise virgins will be in charge of many cities. You will be a mayor of many cities. And depending on what duties you're assigned, some of you will be assigned communities within that city. And the whole hierarchy of ruling and reigning will be determined by the Lord. He knows where you're skilled and he knows where you're good at. And so some of you will be in charge of a community, say a city block and things like that. He will be there to guide them, to help set the rules with weekly community meetings or monthly community meetings, whatever it may be. And a typical day would be why we don't need ambulance, fire, and police is because if something should go wrong, like say one of the people that you're in charge of, say there's a fire in the house. Well, because God is aware of everything that goes on, if there is going to be a fire in a house that could consume the whole house or endanger the lives of people, what would happen is, wherever you are, the Holy Spirit will say, oh, you got to get back to your community. This particular house, there's going to be a fire there in, say, half an hour. And so wherever you are in the world, you can either take some sort of vehicle and fly to that particular place, or you could think yourself there. And depending on what God's will is for that particular fire, it could be that those people have to learn a lesson, in which case some of the house will be partly burned, or it could be that it was just a sheer accident caused by a kid that could have gone bad. And so the Holy Spirit will tell you when the exact time comes for you to think yourself there in order to put out the fire. And that's the same with all crime. should any of the fleshly people, because they will still have free will, remember, they will still be able to choose sin. They can still choose right or wrong because of their Adamic nature. You servants of the Lord, you will be incorruptible, so that will be impossible for you to ever choose to do wrong. That's why the Lord has called you, because he knows that right now you're learning that lesson, and when you become incorruptible, it'll be all that much easier for you to uphold the law and to be someone who can rule with the authority of Jesus. And so when you're called to a particular emergency, it'll be right on time. It'll be perfectly timed, because the Holy Spirit is aware of everything. God is aware of everything. He can see the beginning of time, the middle, and the end of time all at the same time. So he knows in advance if there's going to be an accident in somebody's house, or if somebody is thinking about doing something they shouldn't be doing. The Lord will call you there, and you can help put out the fire, or stop the crime, or whatever it may be. And if one of the people that you're looking after, for example, if they're mountain climbing, and I've used this example before in another video, but for you new subscribers, if say one of the people that you're in charge of, they're mountain climbing and they're about to fall off the mountain and maybe die, and it's not their time to die, so the Holy Spirit will let you know in advance, okay, one of your people, they're climbing up this mountain and there's going to be an accident. So you will be there right on time to either catch them like a superhero or talk to them before the accident to let them know not to do certain things. Or it could be that they do fall and they do get an injury, and then it'll be up to you with your powers, your gifts of the Lord, to heal them on the spot. So a typical day for the wise virgins during 1,000 years of peace is just to help the people that you will be in charge of. Just to help to keep them safe and sound during the 1,000 years of peace, because it'll be a day and age worth living. There won't be any stress like we have now. There won't be any bills. There won't be any deadlines. There won't be any lawyers. There won't be any paperwork or politics or personalities in the workplace to cause stress. It'll just be a time of sheer enjoyment. And so you could say typically it'd be checking out what Saturn is like, the rings of Saturn. And you're hopping around the rings, and then all of a sudden the Spirit says, oh, you got to go back to your community. Something needs to be looked after. So you think yourself there. So we'll be able to do so much more during the 1,000 years of peace with all the gifts that we have, or will have, mastery over the laws of nature and things like that. So something else to look forward to. It's a very busy day, helping out without stress, and just making sure that the people are safe and sound, the descendants of Adam, as they grow during the 1,000 years of peace. Okay, that's it for now. We will talk to you later. Be a blessing wherever you are in internet land and YouTube world. Take care, stay in prayer. Jesus will be here sooner rather than later, and we will see you in this kingdom somewhere over there, or maybe even somewhere up in the air. All right, remember, Jesus rules.